Friends, the intention of this session is to improve your marks in public administration beyond 280 marks. So personally I have scored 340 plus marks for more than 3 times in UPSC, and the best marks that I got in UPSC is 372. So I am using all my experience in UPSC answer writing to improve your marks, right, in the optional subject. So just try to follow me and improve your answer writing. So this is the question taken from the previous year's UPSC question. So this question was asked in 2023 mains exam, right? So let me read the question once. The process of decisions is largely a technique of narrowing choices. Explain. So the question is purely about the process of decision making. So the question is about the process of decision making, right? And the question says that, right, decision making is largely a technique of narrowing choices. Alright, so as soon as you see the word decision making, so automatically we should recollect what you call Herbert Simon, because Herbert Simon is regarded as father of decision making. So first start your answer with definition of decision making as given by Herbert Simon. Alright, so decision making is choosing of the behavior alternative from the existing alternatives. It is a choosing of right course of behavioral action. That is how Simon has defined decision making. Right. So if you take this decision making, it is choosing the right behavioral action from the available choices. Right. So choosing. Right. So here the stressing point is choosing of behavioral actions. So how decisions are made by individuals in the organization, that is how an administrative man makes a decision. So according to Simon, the decisions are made by the principle of simple rule of thumb, that is the administrators or the individuals in the organization, they take a simplified view of the world around them, and based upon the limited understanding of the world or limited understanding of the situations around the individuals, decisions are made. So according to Simon, administrative man makes decisions based upon the simple understanding by using simple rule of thumb. So because of which the rationality is not possible. So this simple rule of thumb acts as a hindrance in promoting rationality. So Simon has made a clear difference between administrative man and economic man. So try to make try to use this particular analogy given by Simon in making the decisions. Right? And according to Simon, the rational decision or the rationality can be increased in decision making by choosing the right course of action or right behavioral alternative. So what is the right behavioral alternative, or what is the right course of action? So right course of action is determined purely based upon understanding of all the consequences, right? So according to Simon, decisions are based, and decisions should be based upon understanding of all the consequences, right? That is, the decision maker should have the knowledge of all the consequences. So based upon the knowledge of all the consequences, the decisions are made. So technique of narrowing the choices. So this the best choice is chosen from the available alternatives based upon the consequence. That is how the rationality is promoted. Right. So the best decision is the one which clearly determines the possible outcome. The best decision is the one which clearly provides the outcome of that decision. Right. So this is how Simon has defined decision making, and this is what the decision making is. So here we can justify the answer saying that yes, decision making is a process of narrowing the choices based upon the consequences. So the best alternative is choose, right, based upon the required consequence, right. An economic man according to Herbert Simon makes a rational decision, right. So that is how you should start the answer and conclude the answer. So start the answer with the definition of decision making, then go how actually decisions are made in the organization, right. Second step is how actually decisions are made in the organization, that is by using simple rule of thumb, right. Then, right, the possible hindrances in having rational decisions, then go for how rationality can be promoted in the decision making, that is what is the best course of action or best decision. So best decision is the one, right, where the consequence is clearly predicted, right, or the best decision is the one which is purely based upon knowledge of all the consequences. Then you can use, right, Simon's concept of economic man. Simon concept of economic man in making the decisions, right. Then conclude by supporting the question. By saying that, right, decision making is a process of, right, narrowing the techniques. Decision making is a process of narrowing the choices based upon the consequences, right. So this is how your answer should flow. So there are 4 to 5 points, each point in 20 words. That means if you write each point in 20 words, there are 5 points. That means almost all your answer, the core part of the answer will be around 100 words, and say another 30 words for introduction and conclusion. So within 130 words you can write the answer, alright. So you can also represent this answer in a graphical format, alright. So you can talk about administrative man, economic man and rationality. This is one thing. Or you can use the concept of, right, IDC, right, that is intelligence activity, design activity and choice activity. That is IDC is a process involved in decision making, right. IDC is a process involved in decision making, that is intelligence activity, identifying the right situation which requires decisions. Then designing different behavioral alternatives, it is designing different what to call course of actions. And third one is choosing the right course of action based upon our required consequence, or choosing the right course of action based upon the knowledge of all the consequences. So you can use any of this graphical form, but try to use a chart or a pictorial representation of the answer, which will fetch you a marks. Personally, believe me, I have done all these things in my all these things in answer writing. So please try to use pictures, and wherever possible try to underline the answer. So at least there should be 2 to 3 core points of the answer that should be underlined. So make this as a habit. So don't hesitate in underlining the answers. So personally I am the evidence, alright. So this is how you can what to call practice the answers. So if you start practicing in this way, definitely, right, the moment you see the question you will frame the answers.